A sentence pattern refers to the basic structure of a sentence. There are 5 ways in which sentence predicates are constructed. Here are examples of each of these. Fleas bite. This is the basic subject-verb pattern. Fleas being the subject, bite being the verb. Fleas bite dogs. This is a subject-verb direct object pattern. Fleas being the subject, bite the verb, and dogs the direct object. Another dog gave my dog fleas. This is an example of the subject, verb, indirect object, direct object pattern. Another dog being the subject, gave is the verb, my dog the indirect object, and fleas is the direct object. Fleas make my dog itchy. This is a subject, verb, direct object, object complement pattern. Fleas being the subject, make is the verb, my dog is the direct object, and itchy is the object complement, as it tells us more about the object, the dog. Fleas are a nuisance. This is an example of the subject, verb, subject complement pattern. Fleas are the subject, are is the verb, and a nuisance is a subject complement because it tells us more about fleas, the subject. The subject and verb is the simplest sentence pattern you can construct. Both parts of the sentence can be expanded by adding modifiers, but the basic structure remains the same. The dog barked. The neighbour's guard dog barked incessantly. Here the basic structure, the dog barked, remains the same. Carolyn choked. Carolyn, my aunt from Sydney, choked to death in 1954 after swallowing a fishbone. Here again, the basic structure, Carolyn choked, remains the same. In this sentence pattern, the verb is intransitive, which means that it doesn't have an object for its action. I laughed loudly. I arrived early. I fell down in the street. Sometimes the subject-verb pattern is reversed. Are they moving today? On the mat sat a cat. There were ants in the kitchen. In this pattern, the subject performs the action of the verb on the direct object, so the verb is said to be transitive. Writers receive rejections. Rejections is a direct object of the transitive verb receive. I understand the problem. The problem is the direct object. The horse jumped the fence. The fence is the direct object. Many verbs can be used transitively and intransitively depending on the sentence pattern being used. In a dictionary you will see VT and VI indicating how the particular verb can be used. The child played happily. Here played is intransitive. The child played the violin. Here played is transitive. The bird flew back to its nest. Intransitive verb flew. I flew a kite for the first time. Here the transitive verb flew. Some verbs are always transitive. I dislike rudeness. I sent the parcel. In some sentences, a transitive verb can take both a direct object and an indirect object. The indirect object comes before the direct object. He gave the boy a lift. If if you put the direct object first, it becomes he gave a lift to the boy. I sent my mother a letter. How about these sentences? I wish you a happy life, and he paid me a compliment. Putting the direct object first, they become I wish a happy life for you, and he paid a compliment to me.